Welcome to Miss Hazel's Story House, a heartfelt story told by Miss Dorothy. My name is Miss Dorothy Thompson, and I'm 68 years old, living in my little white house on Maple Lane in Willow Creek, Georgia. The magnolias still bloom every spring just like they did when my husband Robert was alive. But the house feels bigger now, emptier. Robert passed 4 years ago. Heart attack in his sleep. I thought that was the deepest pain I would ever know. Waking up to a cold side of the bed and realizing the man I loved for 42 years was gone. We had one daughter, Lydia. Beautiful, ambitious Lydia. She always made us proud. Top of her class, big city job in Atlanta, fancy marketing executive. Mama, she used to say, I'm going to take care of you one day. I believed her. After the funeral, Lydia and her husband, Victor, stepped in right away. Don't you worry about a thing, Mama, Lydia told me, hugging me tight while I cried into her expensive silk blouse. We'll handle Daddy's estate. You just rest and grieve. They moved fast. Within months, the house was in a trust they controlled for my benefit. The retirement accounts were consolidated under Lydia's name for easier management. Even the family land, 20 acres my grandparents left us, was signed over. I was grieving so hard I barely read the papers they put in front of me. I trusted my only child. Then the money stopped coming the way it used to. Small things at first. The monthly allowance they promised for bills became irregular. When I gently asked, Lydia would sigh sweetly on the phone. Mama, the market's been bad. We're protecting your future. Trust me. But the roof started leaking. My old car needed repairs I couldn't afford. I began eating more soup and less groceries. The church helped with food boxes, and dear neighbors brought casseroles. I smiled and thanked them, but inside I felt shame. How did the widow of Robert Thompson end up counting pennies? One rainy afternoon, I was going through Robert's old desk looking for a birth certificate when I found a folder I'd never seen. Inside were copies of bank statements and a handwritten note from Robert, for Dorothy only, our nest egg. Lydia knows nothing about this account. My hands shook as I opened the statements. There it was, over $280,000 in an account I never knew existed. But every withdrawal for the past 3 years had been made by Lydia. Every single one. I sat on the floor and cried until I had no tears left. The betrayal cut deeper than grief. This wasn't a stranger stealing from me. This was my baby girl, the little girl I rocked to sleep, the teenager I stayed up all night with when her heart was broken, taking the security her father worked his whole life to build. That night I opened my old leather journal, the one Robert gave me on our 25th anniversary, and wrote with trembling hands, Lydia took everything. My child stole my future. But I am still Dorothy Thompson. And I will not go quietly. The emotions came in waves, crushing sadness, burning anger, and then a quiet, steel-cold resolve. I started documenting everything. Dates of her visits, every excuse, every promise. I drove to the bank in the next town so no one would recognize me and asked for full records. I spoke with Robert's old lawyer friend, Mr. Whitaker, who was shocked by what he saw. Miss Dorothy, he said gently, this is elder financial exploitation. We can fight this. I didn't want to believe it at first. I made excuses for her in my head. She's under pressure. Victor probably pushed her. But the evidence kept piling up. Luxury vacations charged to estate accounts. A new Mercedes. Designer clothes. All while I was choosing between medicine and groceries. The final straw came when Lydia visited with Victor one Sunday. She looked radiant in her cream linen dress, smelling of expensive perfume. She hugged me and said, Mama, we're thinking of selling the family land. It's just sitting there. The money could go into a nice home for you. Something inside me snapped. I looked at my daughter, my own flesh and blood, and felt both love and heartbreak so strong it nearly knocked me over. That evening I invited them for a special family dinner. I cooked Robert's favorite pot roast, made sweet potato pie, set the table with our wedding china. Reverend Ellis and my best friend Clara May joined us by coincidence. Halfway through dessert, I placed the thick folder on the table. "Lydia, baby," I said, my voice trembling but strong, "before we talk about selling anything, I need you to look at these." She opened the folder. Her perfectly made-up face went pale. Victor shifted uncomfortably. I listed everything, every dollar taken, every document signed without my full understanding, every lie. Tears welled in Lydia's eyes. "Mama. I was going to pay it back. We had expenses. The business needed cash flow. I thought you didn't need it all right now." I stood up slowly, tears running down my own cheeks. "You watched me struggle. You saw me accept charity from the church while you drove a new car. I would have given you every penny if you had asked. But you stole it, baby. You stole my peace." The room was silent except for my daughter's quiet sobbing. Victor tried to defend her, but Reverend Ellis spoke firmly about truth and repentance. Clara May laid out the legal path forward. That night, after they left, I sat on the porch in the dark, rocking in Robert's old chair, feeling the deepest loneliness and yet the strongest sense of purpose I had ever known. My heart was broken, but it was also waking up. The court battle was painful. Lydia fought it at first. There were angry calls, accusations that I was confused and ungrateful. But the evidence was overwhelming. With Mr. Whitaker and Clara May by my side, we won. The assets were returned. Lydia was ordered to repay what she could and lost control over the estate. I didn't feel triumphant. I felt exhausted and sad. My daughter had chosen money over me. But I also felt free. With the recovered funds, I repaired the roof, fixed my car, and started something beautiful. I founded Maple Lane Legacy, a foundation that helps elderly parents protect their life savings and teaches families how to handle inheritance with honesty and love. We hold workshops at the church, provide free legal referrals, and sit with broken-hearted mothers and fathers who feel betrayed by their own children. Lydia eventually came back. Not for money this time, but quietly, on a rainy afternoon much like the one when I made my discovery. She cried real tears and asked for forgiveness. I hugged her tight, the way I did when she was small. "I forgive you, baby," I whispered. "But trust will take time. Let's rebuild slowly." Today I sit on my porch surrounded by blooming flowers, watching the sun set over the land that still belongs to our family. The pain taught me I am stronger than I ever knew. Betrayal showed me the power of truth. And love, real, honest love, can grow again even after the deepest wounds. If you're watching this and carrying the pain of a child who betrayed your trust, know you are not alone. Write it down. Speak your truth. Protect what's yours. And when you're ready, choose forgiveness, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. This is Miss Dorothy, sharing my story here on Miss Hazel's Story House, reminding you that even the strongest oaks bend in the storm, but their roots grow deeper because of it. Please like, subscribe, and stay active for the next stories. I'll tell you about women, about mothers, about those who once fell but rose again through the light of justice and compassion. Thanks for listening. I will see you in the next story. Have a good day and take care of yourself. God bless you.